Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, and I'm back with another Star Wars figure review. And today I have for you from the Star Wars The Black Series 3 3/4 range. This is Luke Skywalker. Not just any Luke Skywalker. This is a Luke Skywalker depicting the way he looks in his Dagobah training outfit. It's an interesting figure. There's a lot going on here. All kinds of accessories and different ways to pose this guy, as you can see here. We'll get more in depth in that in a moment. First, let's show you the card back. Again, pretty standard at this point for the people that are used to the Black Series. Star Wars The Black Series is figure number 21, Luke Skywalker. We have the profile pic there. Warning, choking hazard, ages 4 and up. When we go down, it's all basic black. For the most part, we got the Hasbro logo, and we flip it around and we have the Star Wars logo again figure 21 Luke Skywalker. You got a little mini bio there and a black and white image showing Luke Skywalker training on Dagobah with Yoda on his back. And we have down here the StarWars.com and Hasbro logos again. Go up, and that's it for the packaging. Now, on to the figure. And it's a very cool figure. As you can see, he has the ability to do a handstand, as well as various other things. So we'll just kind of turn him around, so he's not standing on his head altogether. And we'll show you, give you a quick up and down 360. We'll show you the rest. Again, great sculpting and paintwork on this guy. I love the dirty wash kind of put over the pants. You know, Dagobah's a dirty place. It's muddy and slimy and so all kinds of stuff. I think the head sculpt looks great. The hair is sculpted nicely. The arms, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. Nice detailing on the belt. See the pants. You'll notice one thing right away. The hinge joints are painted fairly well. They somewhat blend in to the rest of the figure with the knees and the ankles. They didn't quite do this too well in one other area, which I'll show you that in a moment. In fact, there it is. Here we can see it right there. The hip joints, not quite a match. They kind of stick out a little bit. That's one kind of gripe I have. That's probably one of the biggest gripes I have with this figure. But overall, you can see all the little details, all the pockets on the pants, and even the stains on the shirt. Facial sculpt, I think, is really good. They did a good job of getting Mark Hamill's face, I think. Again, sculpting the hair on the front part, it looks kind of dirty and sweaty, which makes sense. He's in Dagobah and he's running around and he's doing all his training. So I really like that. I like that effect that they did. Okay. One thing I'll point out with the belt, which again is very nicely detailed, it is removable. You have just a simple peg right there. And you can see, again, the little details, all the little pouches and a little silver paint there. The holster, which one thing I like that it's not strapped to his leg, because he's a little more casual in this area of where he is. So he's not worrying about appearances too much. It's just kind of more casual and loose. So I like that the holster is just kind of hanging there in the straps. I think that's a nice touch, something different. You do have the working holster, which the blaster, which I'll show you that in a moment. The blaster, it's really tight trying to get that blaster in there. I almost felt like I was going to maybe break it, so I haven't put it in all the way, but it should fit. It's just going to be very tight, so I'd be careful about that. Okay. I'm going to put the camera down here for a second, and we'll show you. We'll go over the articulation. which some people would call it a hindrance. It has its drawbacks. Of course, obviously, the whole handstand thing and the training, that is the point for all the articulation. Okay, but you do have a lot of articulation with this guy. So, ball jointed neck, ball hinge shoulders, swivels at the biceps, double hinge on the elbow. There's swivels and hinge joints on the wrists, swivel at the waist. The hip joints are ball jointed hips. You have ball hinge knees and ball hinge ankles. So tons of articulation there to, it's there for the trying to do the purpose of the handstand position and other things you want to put them in. Also, there is a Yoda figure in this wave that comes with a backpack which you can put on Luke, and you can get the arms all the way up so it makes it look like he's grabbing the strap. You'll have to get the Yoda figure to do that. I have the Yoda figure, which it was part of like a group case that when I bought these figures from, these past few figures. So the Yoda figure came with it. I already saw a review on that figure, which I will not be doing. It's a terrible, terrible figure. So I'm not even going to bother reviewing it. It's not worth reviewing. There are probably better Yodas that you could find that you could use with this figure. Okay, so overall, great articulation, the sculpting, the paint work. Like I showed you, the one problem is with the hip joints. Now, the articulation, as you can see, can be a good thing, and it can also be a hindrance. The upper arms here, these joints, because they have such movement, and you got to move them around trying to do the handstand position, they do have a tendency to pop out fairly easy, but they pop right back in. But it's not a huge deal. I've seen a lot worse, but it will pop out, just so people know that. I just want to make sure you're aware of that. But it will pop right back in. If it comes off, it's not broken. It will do that. And then, of course, the double hinge on the elbow is just, if you look at it like this, at least it's a flesh tone color. The joints aren't like a different color. It just looks weird. It looks very weird, especially in this position. As you see, the wrists that have those hinge joints that can move backwards and forwards, so you can get them in that handstand. It's a little difficult at first to get them in that handstand, because with the hinge joints, it'll make the elbows, push down and make them fall over. But it just takes a little bit of work, and you can get them in that handstand position, as you saw in the beginning of the video. This may be a case of too much articulation. I think a single hinge probably would have done the job just as well. The double hinge, it just looks weird, especially when you have a character that is sleeveless and the arm is just totally exposed like that. It just looks odd. From the bottom, the waist down, he looks fine, but this just looks odd. Now he does have several accessories, part of which is the swappable hands. See there, you see there's a simple peg, and hopefully you could see the hinge joint there, and they just pop out. It's on camera. And then you have the other hands, which pop right in. Okay, so there you have, there are the other hands. As you saw, they pop right in and out. Okay, now his other accessories, he has his standard blaster pistol, which is nice. It's nicely sculpted and painted. We do get a little silver on the barrel of the pistol, which we don't always get lately with these figures, so that's a nice touch. We do have the lightsaber. What Luke figure would be complete without a blue bladed lightsaber? It's a very light, clear, translucent blade. You can see there's the hilt, and it's nicely sculpted and painted. You got all the little details there. And he does come with an unlit lightsaber hilt. And there you see the details even more. One little fail is you see the peg there. However, on the figure, there's no peg hole. There's no actual place for him to put the lightsaber. There's the little hook, but there's no loop. There's no way that I see of connecting the lightsaber hilt to the belt. So that's a little bit of a fail. Just going to put this down again, and I'll just show you. As you can see here, I'll put the blaster in his hand, and he holds that really well. Same thing with the lightsaber. I'll take the lightsaber. See, I think with these hands and with the blaster or the lightsaber in his hand, the arms look a little bit better. Just in that handstand pose, it just looks so awkward. But it is kind of cool to have that option, that display option. You could put them upside down. If you have a Dagobah display, or you could just simply have them with these hands, with the lightsaber, the blaster. Or you can mix and match. Have one hand and say take this hand and put it on that hand, so you can have that hand displayed, or however you want. So that gives you, I think, great value for this figure. It allows you to get all kinds of display options for this figure, depending on which hands you want. Which weapons you want in his hand, if you want him just displayed like this, if you want him displayed with Yoda, if you want him in the handstand position. So I think that's really great, personally. You have all those different options with this figure, if you can get past the arm joint, which it just looks weird. Which again, I have to put that as a fault. I understand with all the articulation, I think what they were going for with this figure. They wanted to give us something a little unique, and they definitely achieved that. It's a great idea. It just looks a little odd. I mean, me being a huge Luke Skywalker fan, this was a must-get for me. I think it's still a great figure despite its flaws. It's not perfect, but it has a lot of great points as well. So it's, I think, definitely worth getting. Like I said, with all the accessories, with the extra hands and the lightsaber hilt and the blaster, you have a lot of bargain for your $10, $11, whatever these go for in your various stores, depending. Toys R Us, Target, the prices will probably vary. So overall, a little disappointed, but overall I would say this is still a great figure. It's definitely worth having in your collection. If you're a Luke Skywalker fan, like I am, this would be like a must-have. And again, you have all sorts of different ways you can display this figure if you so choose. You can just display it however you want. And there you have it. Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 scale, figure number 21, Luke Skywalker. Again, for me, I would say definitely pick him up. As a main character. But if the extra articulation kind of weirds you off, that could be a throw off to some people. That I have to point that out. But for some people, it may not mind. For me, like I said, had to get this figure. Still a great figure despite any shortcomings or flaws. So find them if you can. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the review. As usual, comment, rate, subscribe. And until my next video, may the Force be with you.